up, heels and baby faces? Welcome to another episode of the Countdown City WrestleCast. I'm your host, JC. Joining me this week is Tommy.
Hello.
Mike and Tina aren't joining us this week, but they did. Well, Tez actually also sent his bracket. Mike and Tez did. Anyway, our Twitter account at CCG_WrestleCast. Subscribe to this channel, Countdown City Geeks, for more WrestleCast episodes. Episode number 50.
Oh,
on the main line
Are you
episode.
serious?
Yeah. There's a few bonus episodes in there, some blooper reels, but this is like a mainline 50 episode.
I mean, it makes sense because we hit a year, but it's just like to keep reminding of the numbers is just like amazing to me. I guess
it's
like,
pretty cool. We just keep on running. So today we are talking Super J Cup, which is kind of a joint. It's thrown together by New Japan, but it's featuring stars from New Japan, Ring of Honor, and CMLL. So. Haven't had one of these in what was it? We said 5 years before.
Actually, was I was just looking it up. I think the last one was actually 3 years ago. It was
3 years ago. Okay, yeah. I might be thinking of King of the Ring or something.
Yeah. Okay, this one was 3 years ago. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, see, the thing is, Super J Cup is so like not. I won't say inconsistent. It's just like it's not. It was the premier tournament way back, and then they did Best of Super Juniors, and that took precedent over that. So,
okay.
Yeah.
This one is unique, though, because it does combine people from different promotions, and it's just 16 brackets, single elimination, and it's all done in one weekend. So,
lucky California.
That's cool. Yeah, California's getting the second round, the semifinals, and the finals. And of course, if you're up in Tacoma, Washington, you'll get to see the first round matches on Thursday. Yeah. So,
but to be fair, had this been in Texas, I would have been there all 3 days.
Yeah.
It'd have been in Dallas.
Tommy's
Houston.
taking time off.
It'd have been in Dallas, it'd have been like Dallas, Houston, and Austin, and I would have driven all those miles just to be all 3 shows.
I wouldn't doubt it. So, running through the Texas Triangle here. So, so what we're going to do today is run through the brackets, who we think is going to win. I've told you, Mike and Tez have submitted brackets. Tommy and I are pretty much going to fill ours out here on the spot. So, and now Tez, of course, is a WrestleCaster. He has his blog, thepractitioner.com. Check it out. He had a pretty big write-up, and needless to say, it was a very informative backstory on TJ Perkins.
Yeah.
Being involved with this, who, of course, most know, first winner of the Cruiserweight Classic, first, I guess, rebooted Cruiserweight champion, if you will.
Yeah, that's a good way of putting that.
Yeah,
rebooted.
In this age of prequels and reboots and video games and movies, I guess it made sense that they rebooted it as well. So
I guess.
Yeah. Of course, he was released to WWE. He made some appearances in Impact, and now he's as Tez put it, got the New Japan bug. So, he had a very informative history detailing TJ Perkins. Actually, well, I'll say TJ Perkins, TJP. He has some New Japan history. Was involved with the LA Dojo back in the 2000s. So
I forgot that happened.
Yeah.
I actually didn't know that. I completely forgot that.
So, yeah, he later returned to take part in the 2011 edition of the Best of the Super Juniors tournament. So he has some history in New Japan. Interested to see how this goes. And so after reading Tez's love letter to TJP, gotcha, came as no surprise how Tez's bracket came out. So what I'm going to do is going to kind of run through we'll kind of run through the first round matches for everybody here. So Tez has Ospreay defeating Amazing Red, Ishimori beating Sho, TJP beating Clark Connors. I mentioned his love letter to TJP. And El Fantasma beating Robbie Eagles. Then he's got Gresham beating Taguchi, Dragon Lee a winner, Bushi, and Rocky Romero as first-round winners. So, Mike, well, you know what? I'm just going to run through all the Tez's bracket here because make it easier here. Make it easier for me to edit and just blow it up here. So, second round, he's got Ishimori over Ospreay, TJP over Fantasma.
I hope things there when I do that.
Yeah. Dragon Lee over Gresham and Bushi over Romero. The finals, he has TJP over Bushi and TJP winning the whole tournament. So that's who Tez has. Very interesting bracket.
That is actually very interesting.
We're going to have a little fun with this. We're all filling out brackets. It's not March.
Yeah.
But we're going to do the whole kind of for fun point system just for random bragging rights until they do this tournament again in another 3 years, right? So, so that was Tez's bracket. And Mike, I think Mike is still a little scorned that Will Ospreay did not win the G1.
He was never gonna win the G1. I tried to tell him that. He was never going to.
I don't know if scorn's the word, but here's how Mike has it. He's got Ospreay and Ishimori. I think that's going to be everyone's picks for the first round, at least of those two.
Yeah.
TJP and Eagles first round, Gresham and Dragon Lee, Bushi and Romero. Then he's got Ospreay over Ishimori, TJP over Eagles, Dragon Lee over Gresham, Bushi over Romero. And his final is Ospreay defeating Dragon Lee. So he's got Ospreay winning the Super J Cup here. So
Okay.
yeah.
Okay.
Vengeance in his mind for the G1s. Yeah.
Oh man.
So Tommy, let's kind of go through this. I mentioned Ospreay and Amazing Red. Now that, let's be honest, that's going to be a great match. It's gonna be fun to watch.
Man.
Yeah.
It's watching the guy who got me into indie wrestling versus the guy who's one of the many guys keeping me involved in a lot of wrestling. Period. Because I love everything Ospreay does, but I don't want to bet against Red. I don't. But I gotta go Ospreay for this round.
All right, write it down there then. Once you write it down, it's a pen. We can't be erasing this shit. So.
I feel like I'm betraying everything I've ever.
Okay, yeah, because he's writing real slow.
Forgive me, Amazing Red. Forgive me.
It's gonna be great, but I think Ospreay is at least gonna get a first because that would suck if he lost first round.
Yeah.
Ishimori, I think is an obvious one for me.
Well, it's Bullet Club. I figured Ishimori next anyway.
Might have some help for all we know.
Yeah, I really can't see. There's like what. There's 2 Bullet Club guys in this. I can't see the rest of them not being somewhere nearby, especially after Kenta's making them the best heel group ever now. Because like that one heel turn, and now all of Bullet Club is hated.
Yeah, this amazing boost he got from the
one
Japanese
heel
crowd.
turn, and now Bullet Club is easily the most hated faction in all of New Japan.
That's all it takes, man. Outsiders, as you pointed out last week. So
yeah.
So you got Ishimori there.
Yeah.
I do have TJP going first round.
Me too.
You too?
Yeah. Clark Connors is one of the young lions. They got to knock him down a peg or two. He can't. There's no way he's going to beat a veteran like.
It's going to be a great match though.
Yeah, I mean, some
of these.
From what I've seen of Connors, he's good. He's like one of the young lions. They don't. To me, New Japan doesn't put any young lion out there before they're ready anyway. So even if they're like got the basics down, I look for the basics for guys in the all black trunks. If they can pull that off, cool. So I think he's gonna be all right.
All right. Eagles and Phantasmo. This one can go either way.
This one is tricky.
Yeah.
I do agree this one is tricky. And
so I could flip a coin for this one.
Yeah.
This is tough. But
honestly, I think I'm gonna go Phantasmo.
Okay.
And here's why. I think he's going to get revenge for Eagles defecting to Chaos back during their southern tour in Australia. So that's why I think he's going to get some revenge. And again, Bullet Club, I just don't see them staying out of this very well.
Yeah. You said that there, the Bullet Club getting involved, so I got Phantasmo as well. Let's see, Gresham versus Taguchi. I feel like they got to, since this is in U.S. territory, they got to give Gresham some love here. So I think he's going to be at least getting the first round win here. And
see, honestly, I disagree. I honestly think Taguchi's gonna
You're lone wolfing that one.
I am lone wolfing that one actually. Because I honestly hate counting Taguchi out because he keeps coming back every time someone does think he's out. So I think he's gonna win at least this round. That's just my opinion.
All right. And I do have Dragon Lee. Arguably right now, kind of the big star that they have coming out of CMLL.
Yeah, I'm going Lee for this one for sure.
Being Ring of Honor and in New Japan, so he's kind of working everywhere. So.
Yeah, Sean Yo needs to get back in that tag team title hunt.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Next one, Bushi for me. I think he's a young talent, right, out of CMLL.
Actually, Kadisco, believe it or not,
he's been around for a while.
Yeah,
he's a new name to me. So.
Yeah, but believe it or not, you're because I have to. I'm confirming this to make sure.
I'll be honest here. I don't know all these people because it's a lot of wrestling to keep.
But you're never gonna guess who he is.
Who?
He's Mystico.
No way.
He is. He changed his name again. He's Mystico.
Oh, that's tough.
And the original Sin Cara.
Oh my gosh.
I had to double check because I was like, is that who I think it is? I had to double check. I was like, because
all these damn name changes, man. God dang it. Man, that's tough now.
It is.
You know what?
I was wondering if anyone else knew who that was.
I don't know if they did, but I'm going to go with Caristico. So, wow.
Actually, same.
Yeah.
On that one.
Wow. That's a hell of a reveal. Didn't even realize it. There's so many name changes.
No, because I was. That's why I double checked it before as we were starting because I was like, I swear that's Mystico. I swear that's just his new name now. Uh-huh. But I wasn't sure because I remember reading it like months ago that he changed his name again, and I was like, did he? Because like it was Mystices for like a hot minute, and then he
same mask or no?
I don't know if it's the same mask. I gotta double check that. But yeah, so
interesting.
Same mask.
Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, I guess he just I'm sick of that name again. So let's just
rebrand a little bit.
Yeah.
I think Romero's going to also be closing out the first round there as well. So.
Yeah, I think because they've been building him up a bit in this too, and I don't know. I think Rocky might be transitioning to more of a managerial / commentator role pretty soon, because like he does it now already. So I think his in ring days aren't over, but I think he's dialing it back a bit because he adds a lot to New Japan as far as just promotion goes. Like he's really good at just talking up New Japan, and I think that's one reason why they're like, you know, they throw him in tournaments stuff because he's a great talent, but he's just great at just talking on commentary. He's freaking hilarious. Like I love him and Kevin Kelly going back and forth. Man, they're almost like Kelly Klein. That shows where my mind is at all times.
Yep. All right, so that's our picks, at least for the first round matches that are Thursday in Tacoma, Washington. Mm-hmm. Now we move on to the second round, which will take place on Saturday in San Francisco, California, actually on the San Francisco State University. So, yeah, a little bit down the West Coast. All the West Coast show here. Ospreay and Ishimori arguably could very well be the match of the tournament if this is how it pans out.
They tend to not. They have faced each other before. They tend to never have a bad match. They're like Okada and Tanahashi. They have to try to not have good chemistry. That's what I love about some guys who do Japan. It's like how hard they have to try to not have a good match. It's like whenever like even at the G1 when Tanahashi and Okada wasn't the match of the night. Not that they were bad. It's just that everyone else was working that much harder because they knew they were going up against the literal match of the century.
Yep. So, tough pick here.
Very.
I'm going with Ishimori.
Really?
Yes.
Okay.
A little like we mentioned the whole influence he's got there. So
yeah.
Right now, I mean. He's hot right now. He's a big star at this point, so I think
agree.
He's that one. Yeah,
I'm going to go with Ospreay.
All right.
Okay, and I think he's going to get one over on Bullet Club for this one.
Okay.
And actually, it's going to feed into my next pick. Actually, so.
All right. Well, next pick I do have TJP being the pick here. So
I have Phantasma going
over
because
it was a kind of opposite thing. So you got Bullet Club winning one but losing the other. So
yeah,
kind of like
and the reason is I think because still he's trying to because Phantasma was just on his mission to get his revenge on Chaos. I think he's after. I think now when Phantasma back, I think everything got put on hold because of the G1. I think Phantasma back and now he's gunning. Quote, pun totally intended, by the way, for Bullet Club.
Got it. All right. Second round, I have Gresham versus Dragon Lee, and I'm going with Dragon Lee on that one.
I have Lee and Taguchi. I'm going with Lee. So.
All right. And then Caristigo and Romero for me. Man. You know what? I want to see a couple luchadors in a semifinal, so I'm going to go with Caristigo.
That's actually what I was about to say. Yeah. I think they're going to just kind of tear it down.
Yeah, in the since the semifinals and finals are in Southern California, you gotta have a little bit of that luchador.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Yep. All right, so that brings us to our final four. I've got Ishimori versus TJP and Dragon Lee versus Caristigo. My final matchup, I think, is going to be Dragon Lee against because I want to see this. I want to see TJP and Dragon Lee in
that would be
final.
Actually really good.
Yeah. You?
I'm going Lee and Ospreay.
All right. Everybody likes Lee for the most part. I think we've except for Tez. We've got Lee there in the final.
I think he's just been hot on a tear recently.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And then championship for me, it's gonna be Dragon Lee. That is my pick to win the whole thing. So
now, see, here's the funny part. I actually agree with you now. A second ago, I was gonna originally say Ospreay when I was thinking about this, but I think Ospreay did beat Dragon Lee for the best Super Juniors. No, he didn't. No, he beat him for the IWGP Junior Heavyweight Championship because he won the best Super Juniors.
Right.
So I think Dragon Lee's going to win this as a kind of like to put them at one apiece because honestly, in my mind, they're both going to Wrestle Kingdom
against each other. I think.
Ooh,
so this will be the second one. So
yeah.
So you got Dragon Lee. The whole thing?
Because that'll be the rubber match between the two of them. Because since Ospreay beat Lee for the title. Then it's gonna be Dragon Lee's gonna win this, and if they don't, well, because I know how sometimes freaking Mike said, like, are they gonna blow it in an earlier show? I can't say New Japan blows it in an earlier show because I don't know. Power Struggle and King of Pro Wrestling, man, those two shows you can't sleep on those because they tend to be like, this is just the road to Wrestle Kingdom. Wrestle Kingdom is gonna be fire, so they might have that match before they get there, but I'm not sure if they will. So
if they do, if it kind of goes like a draw or something, they'll work it out from there. You think?
I think so. These are two guys who could be the Tanahashi and Okada of the junior heavyweights and of this generation. Because I think honestly, Jushin Thunder Liger is probably going to help start booking more junior heavyweight talent. I mean, because who wouldn't want to work for Jushin Thunder Liger at this point? What junior heavyweight worth his salt would say, nah, I don't think I'm going to answer when Jushin Thunder Liger calls me on the phone.
It's got a good mind for it. That'd be a really good influence too.
I think he's just one of the guys who's been in the business long enough to where if he talks, people will listen.
All right, so that's our brackets here. Let us know what your brackets are as well. Feel free to fill one out yourself. You can just kind of do a makeshift one, print out the Wikipedia bracket. I just went to printyourbrackets.com, put it together.
Yeah.
Tommy and I each have Dragon Lee winning the whole thing. Mike has Will Ospreay. Vengeance for the G1 is what I'm going with, is his reasoning. And Tez, based on his love letter to TJP, has got TJP winning the whole bracket.
I want Will Ospreay to walk out with a shirt that says Vengeance for the G1
yes.
so bad.
Let's see if Mike gets that hashtag trending.
You know what? Mike should just make a shirt that says Will Ospreay, Vengeance for the G1. Hashtag Vengeance for G1.
See how that plays out. It's going to be fun to watch this weekend. And, kind of a little break in there between SummerSlam and All Out. So now some wrestling news to discuss, and there felt like this was quite a bit of news to just come through. It just rolled on through, stuff happening.
Yeah, and within the past couple of days too. This wasn't really since we last recorded. It was just like within the last couple of days of today of us recording, and like 2 days prior, like everything happened. So
exactly. So. Of course, the big announcement coming out, actually officially, this was rumored over the weekend. Thought we were going to get it on Raw. It came out. We're recording it on Tuesday. It came out today. NXT is officially going to be moving. They're staying on Wednesdays, but they're moving to the USA Network. Yeah. And it's going to be a 2-hour weekly live show starting September 18th, 2 weeks before AEW makes its debut on TNT.
So petty!
It's going to be broadcast live from Full Sail University, so it's not going to be a traveling show. And this is okay.
So petty.
It is very, and it tells me one thing: WWE is legit worried about AEW. Because when Impact was around, they never did anything like this. No one cared. They didn't care in the company, wouldn't acknowledge it, and that worked out a pretty good strategy for them because they felt, hey, we'll do our thing, they do theirs. Won't even acknowledge it, and look what happened. Impact made the dumb move trying to move to Mondays. Thanks a lot, Hulk Hogan, and has been recovering ever since. So with AEW, it's interesting because I don't know. Because for me, NXT being a weekly on the network exclusively was a major selling point for the WWE network.
I think yeah, it was.
It really was. It was like, okay, I want to see these young stars. I get an hour. It's taped. Now, granted, from a developmental side, this is cool because it's going to allow them to, okay, how does the live TV work and stuff like that? They're going to get ready.
And I guess it does give them a chance, and hopefully they won't pull more people.
Just showcase
NXT.
more talent.
Yeah. It won't pull people off of NXT and the main roster where no one does anything. But the only thing with drawback is I keep hearing that rumors that Vince might get more involved with NXT, which is the last thing anybody wants.
Well, there's rumors either way. Rumors here. So first of all,
it's a rumor.
One bright spot obviously is, of course, Heyman is handling creative for Raw. Bischoff's supposedly handling it for SmackDown. Don't know how that's really working out.
Yeah.
I'm hearing reports either way. Triple H is involved a lot with NXT. Now, obviously, money-wise, USA is throwing $50 million at WWE to move NXT onto weekly shows there on Wednesdays. In addition to the money they're already throwing for Raw, which is like in the $200 million, and the money they're getting from Fox for SmackDown moving to Fridays.
I always wonder, where do these networks get all this money from? I gotta look into more
advertising revenue.
Yeah, I gotta look more into how that works because it's like when Netflix creates a whole series and movies. It's like, where is this money coming from? And there are that many subscribers to Netflix? I didn't know that, but okay.
They get ads. That's really how it is with them. So now this is a really weird position to be in because now, and we've kind of said it on the show too, and a lot of people have said this, NXT is the third brand. We've been wondering people get moved up, but now it feels like if you're going to give them a 2-hour weekly show, you need to treat them like another brand.
They do,
There's
no more moving up. It's now the draft is like people can get drafted back to NXT, which I think they were doing with Tyler Breeze and Fandango going back, which I think was just a good idea.
It gave him more airtime, which is another positive. You'll see some more airtime, I think.
So that's the one thing is like, it is good in terms of how it appears that NXT has really grown into its own brand and everything. And I agree. And I like that part. I like that aspect. I don't agree with this placement of it because it's like people keep saying, fans, WWE wrestlers and everything keep saying AEW is not a contest. There's no comparison yet. There's no comparison. And I'm like, I agree with that to a point because they just started. Matter of fact, technically they haven't started. They've had 3 pay-per-views so far. They're having a 4th in a couple of weeks, but they're not a real competition because they just got started. They just got going. And I'm like, yes, I agree with that. Someone tell Vince. Someone tell Vince that they're not a threat. I don't think he knows that.
Yeah, I don't know. He just sees another wrestling company in the U.S. and thinks it's competition. And he's hoarding talent. Kalisto even put on Twitter 10 months, #free agent.
Yeah.
So it's almost like he's already got his foot out the door. So
yeah.
I think he's seen it as serious competition, and that's why he's made offers trying to sign people, this and that. Lord knows if the Revival is still considering going to AEW when their contracts are up. So
I don't know, because I don't know. I still think they might, only because for them, I don't think it's so much about the contracts anymore. I think now, because people have built them up so much, they just want to wrestle the Young Bucks. And I think at this point, without them even being near each other, that feud has become so hot that if the Revival left and went to AEW, they would show up as the ultimate draw, because they actually did make the jump. And they'd be the ultimate heels, because the first thing they do is be to jump the Elite. They jump the Bucks, Cody, Kenny, and and I think that would probably be probably the best personal move, business move. Oh, actually, we're talking about Tony Khan money, so yeah, actually, business-wise, it might be the best.
I mean, we've said this guy's got more money than Vince does, so we'll see how that works out.
That $50 million that they threw at them for that USA threw for NXT. Dad, can I have $50 million? Okay, but use it once. Oh, I don't care how you use it. I'll make it back tomorrow. Go ahead, have fun, son.
Now, interestingly enough,
which part of me, in my mind, kind of, in my fantasy, I just want to imagine how AEW got started. Dad, I want to start a wrestling company. Okay. Was that it? Yeah, pretty much. Okay.
Sure. I just need some money. Sure.
All right. Good night, son. Good night, Dad.
Now, Jericho originally, when this was kind of announced, he kind of said he was worried. He didn't really see the point. He felt like it was diluting the product on WWE. He doesn't think the audience that's going to be watching AEW is really, much of them aren't watching WWE anyway. And I can see that. Some people are looking for the alternative.
Yeah.
But he did, when the official announcement came out, said, "Congrats NXT for making the big move to USA Network. Runners always race faster when somebody is right behind them. Going to be fun to see which team the world decides to join. #choose Jericho," of course, referring to AEW. And then, of course, he later says, where is it? Oh, by the way, NXT on USA Network, you're welcome. #industry changer.
I can't say he's wrong.
No, he's not.
I really can't. Okay, so so I will say this. Mm-hmm. To the credit, well, very minor credit I can give Vince. At least this is forcing him to kind of do better. I mean, he's still got a long way to go, in my opinion, but it's kind of forcing that a bit, because, I mean, let's face the people he considers it a threat. Whether fans and other WWE wrestlers think AEW is a threat or not, Vince does, and you can tell by everything happening lately. Kofi Kingston winning the World Championship, I think, was a big ploy to make the fans happy, honestly. Having Brock Lesnar lose the belt to Seth Rollins twice was, I think, a way to keep the fans happy.
Becky Lynch winning the championship, putting the women in the main event.
Yeah, and the main event, I think that was a way to keep the fans happy. Because you know that AEW will get there eventually. Like having fan favorites win the belt and things like that, and having women in the main event. I mean, because, like I said, with the exception, like, honestly, what was the past show, Fight for the Fallen?
Fight for the Fallen was the most recent. Yeah,
those were actually the weakest women's matches of AEW so far, and they still weren't bad. They just weren't the strongest they've had so far. I think Fyter Fest had the strongest ones so far with the triple threat with Nyla, Yuka, and Rio.
Mm-hmm.
So, that could have easily main evented the show. And a women's show, I will say it, might main event one of their pay-per-views, if not by the end of this year, then next year.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, it's kind of there are kind of some shady moves happening right now, but at least it's forcing Vince to kind of think this thing through.
For those wondering, will Vince take over? Will Vince see the ratings and this and that? Well, here's an interesting point of it is that whereas Raw and SmackDown, after they air, due to some contract issues that they have with USA Network and potentially with Fox, it's 30 days before those episodes appear on the WWE Network. And that's a contract thing for whatever reason.
Yeah.
But with NXT, those will be on the network 24 hours later. Yep. So if you don't get to see it on TV, if you have the network, you can just watch it on the network 24 hours later on Thursday night. So let's pose the question out there right now. Which one are you going to be watching on Wednesdays? Are you going to be watching AEW's weekly show or are you going to be watching NXT?
Here's the other...
Live, I should say. Which one are you going to be watching live? Yes.
Here's kind of the other problem with that I don't think... if this was Vince's decision, I can't confirm. We can't confirm if Vince said, "Oh yeah, put it on Wednesday." We can't. So I won't put this all on Vince. Mm-hmm. But the problem though is there's a problem. There's a difference between that kind of stuff happening now as opposed to when it happened in the '90s, and that's honestly the technology. DVR is a thing now.
Yeah.
Whether you have the network or not, if you have any cable company that's sold now has a DVR of some sort. Maybe you don't have the biggest DVR space, but then again, we didn't have that much as VHS tapes either. You could record about...
Set that sucker on EP if you want 6 hours on that tape, man.
Okay, quick side note. I can't tell you how many VHS tapes I went through as a kid. Oh my God. I think I still have like stacks in plastic containers of like Raws and SmackDowns and old cartoons I would watch.
When you're able to buy WrestleMania, we get your parents to convince it, so you set up the VHS to record it. Yeah. But you're recording it in EP, so you fit the whole show, and it's the lowest quality you can imagine. But
absolutely, it's so horrible. Also, during those days, Big Lots was my friend because they had the cheapest VHS tapes you could buy, and I bought them things by the armload. I had an allowance of $25 a week at that time, and all of my money went to buy VHS tapes so I could go and
record.
I have old Raws and SmackDown still on VHS somewhere I haven't watched in years.
And when we didn't have tapes, you were on Mondays flipping back and forth between Raw and SmackDown.
Oh, yeah.
Raw and Nitro. So
God, we're old.
Right. That was the struggle, man.
I wonder how many people on any of our subscribers watching it VHS tapes. What does EP mean? And the day I hear someone say what does EP mean, I might just shrivel up and die in the corner.
Look it up, people. Look it up. Yeah.
I'm just gonna say, excuse me, go in this old folks corner over here and just die quietly.
Now, one thing that's not really being addressed here is 205 Live. And this has kind of been the big question mark ever since they announced that SmackDown was going to move to Fridays on Fox. Of course, currently 205 Live, right after SmackDown goes off the air on Tuesdays, you flip to the network, and having been there live for a SmackDown, they jump right into 205 Live, get it on the network, and get it going. Promos, matches, run the show.
Yeah.
That's kind of been up in the air. How are they going to handle it on Fridays? Are you seriously going to wait for 205 Live on Fridays? And just, I don't know. It's weird. First of all, I'm not sure how well SmackDown is going to do on Fridays. Especially in Texas.
I was wondering about that too. Yeah.
Especially in Texas where high school football is king on Friday nights. So there's a lot that goes on Fridays. People like to go out. I mentioned football. Even in other sports, high school basketball, baseball, sometimes those are big. Where do you go from here if this doesn't work out on SmackDown? So 205 Live, of course, would have suffered more. Yeah. My hope, and I'll theorize this, my hope is that they will move 205 Live to Wednesdays and run it out of Full Sail. So as soon as NXT goes off the air, hey, 205 Live is going to be on the network. Put it right there on the network and go.
At worst, what I could see happening is instead of 205 Live as a show anymore, the 205 Live wrestlers would just be on NXT, and the Cruiserweight Championship would be moved there.
And that wouldn't be a bad thing.
That wouldn't be a bad thing,
for a couple things. One having first, I said when we went to SmackDown 205 Live, that was the more entertaining matches of the night.
Yeah.
But there was a lot of the crowd you could see that wasn't too much interested. Some hung around, or some left, and for whatever reason. We stayed around for 205 Live. We stayed around for one of the post-dark matches, but we left afterward because we had our daughter with us. But some parents, during the school year, they're going to have to leave right after SmackDown's done in the crowd, and they got to go because kids got school. And some just aren't as interested. The crowd's not as hardcore. The NXT crowd at Full Sail is a hardcore crowd, and they will appreciate what those cruiserweights are doing and probably make that an even better show as far as crowd reaction.
That's true.
My hope is
because they get hyped, man.
They do.
I actually want to go to a Full Sail show because they get hyped, man.
Definitely. So I want to see them move 205 Live back to Wednesdays, run it out of Full Sail every week, give it that hour on the network after NXT, and you're going to have a great crowd in attendance. You're going to do something great. You can build some great storylines, possibly even have Triple H helping with the creative on that, since this was really his brainchild from the beginning with the Cruiserweight Classic. So.
Yeah. I really do think, though, that the biggest problem with this is that by creating competition for this other company, you're going to make other people curious about it. Mm-hmm. Because other people who maybe people who are either on the fence or don't care too much for other wrestling, they maybe want, when they hear about AEW, they maybe wonder, well, why is WWE so hard trying to not knock these guys down?
Right.
And you could end up getting people. You could end up creating your own monster, as opposed to just having a day where people were, it's just on and people happen to watch it, and you still have your other programs on other days where you can watch it then. That's why I think, like, it. Honestly, I'd have put this on, like, either on Tuesday where SmackDown was already out of that spot for Fox, the Fox deal anyway.
That's what I thought they were going to do.
Yeah, or just have it on Thursday. Just you can still dominate the rest of the week. I mean,
yeah, I thought those days might have worked, but TNT has their contract with the NBA, so they have to run NBA games on Tuesdays and Thursday nights. So Wednesday was really the only night they had open that they had with TNT.
Oh, well, I mean, AEW on Wednesdays, that's fine, but I mean like NXT.
Oh, NXT, yeah,
on Tuesday or Thursday.
That would have been better. I agree, but for whatever reason, they wanted to be competition for AEW. They're going to try see if they can knock into the ratings. And you mentioned it. All you're doing is getting people curious. I think this is going to help the buy rates for All Out.
Yeah, it is.
We're a week and a half away. So.
But see, and another thing is like, I don't know, that Chris Jericho star power, man. As much as it's a joke, as much as it's a gimmick, it's real.
He's running that whole "you're welcome" thing, which is funny. So
it is, but like that Chris Jericho star power, man, is actually legit. I mean, how many more people watched New Japan because he showed up there?
Yep.
How many more people followed AEW initially because they heard he was there? I mean, yeah, maybe people think like things, whatever they think about the Bucks and Kenny and Cody and everything, but Chris Jericho, man. So, and then when you get guys who sign off on it, like Bret Hart, Moxley,
yeah,
Steve Austin's like saying, oh,
Jake the Snake is doing the promos, revealing the Casino Battle Royal for the women's about Casino Battle Royal, so he's involved with that.
Jim Ross being there, period.
Yes.
you get old school guys who just love it because Jim Ross is there. They want to hear his voice again. So,
and as far as like if I'm hearing like Vince is upset with some of these guys that used to work for him going over there and working, especially with Jim Ross getting a job. You can't expect these guys to just sit around and do nothing.
Especially when someone is offering them maybe not as much as you do, but you never know, they could be.
Yeah.
And like even if it's pretty close and then to have not even as strenuous a schedule.
Definitely. And
yeah, I mean it's literally a once a week
travel. And these guys are really just involved with they still have a passion to do this. Jim Ross has said he still has a lot left in the tank. His wife passed away about a year or so ago.
And for him, I'm sure for him, he's like he doesn't want to sit at home. It's like that's probably the worst thing for him to do right now. I can imagine, but it's not just that. It's that now it's okay. So the more legends who like it, that's the more legends who could show up, who can just do whatever. I doubt like you'll get guys who will go there and wrestle again. Like, how Kevin Nash loves to show up for a payday. Not mad at him. I'm just saying he does. I mean, let's face it, he's Kevin Nash. Let him get his check. But they don't have to wrestle. They'll just show up, make appearances. They'll go to StarCast or something. People who don't know what AEW is, but StarCast is happening, and their favorites are at StarCast. They want to go meet them and like, oh, what's this about? And then they'll find out about AEW and everything. So,
yep. Now, we mentioned the Jim Ross signing. Of course, another news to come out of AEW is that Tony Schiavone has also signed on with All Elite Wrestling, will appear on TNT with the show. So
I honestly did not hear that until just now.
Wow. It's not known how his involvement's going to be. He is scheduled to appear at StarCast before All Out. So
I did hear that. I knew that. Yeah.
So
interesting. I'm very fascinated.
Yeah. So I think WWE has been trying to work on signing Schiavone for years, but AEW, I guess, put a good offer on the table. So Don't know if he's going to be involved in broadcasting somehow, if he's or what kind of role he's going to be doing, but that's really big news as well for AEW. So
we went. Me and some friends went on a road trip to ROW, Reality of Wrestling, Booker T's promotion this past weekend, and I heard Jim Ross. We were listening to part of Jim Ross, one of his podcasts on the way. And he was talking about how the guy Alex, the newer guy with them, gets a bad rap because Jim Ross just outright said it. It's like he gets a bad rap. He's learning. Like he's never done this before. He's brand new to this. He said, I've been doing it for God knows how long. Excalibur is very good at it. He's been doing it forever. He's like he's a new guy. Like give him a chance. So throwing Schiavone in on top of that, man, you have a pretty solid broadcast team there.
Yep.
I think
definitely. If he's even going to be broadcasting, who knows what he'll be doing.
He could, I think he's got a lot of skills he could add to it, I think. Yeah.
Now, real quick rundown of King of the Ring. So far there's been 4 first-round matches on Raw and SmackDown this week. Samoa Joe defeating Cesaro, Cedric Alexander defeating Sami Zayn, Andrade defeating Apollo Crews, and Elias defeating Kevin Owens, which Kevin Owens, of course, myself and Tina had picked to win the whole thing, but this is before we knew what the bracket was. And, of course, the bracket came out. Shane McMahon used his influence to kind of screw over Kevin Owens in that case. So.
I will say though, I am happy that they're treating this pretty seriously. I mean,
yes,
not that they have.
They're wrestling through commercial breaks for once too.
Yeah, and not to say that the previous Kings of the Rings haven't been serious, but it's just like the wrestlers took it seriously. It didn't feel like the company did. The company kind of feels like they're doing it now, and again, it's probably because the G1 was so successful and Moxley was in it. So actually, that you may think do you think AEW will ever do their own kind of tournament?
Not yet, but I think it's in the line.
Yeah.
Obviously, they're going to be having a tournament for the tag team titles.
Yeah.
They've pretty much those first few weekly shows. They're going to be running matches for that. There's already going to be a match at All Out to decide who gets a bye in the tournament. So,
do you think they'll do like an annual tournament like King of the Ring or G1 or something?
Maybe eventually.
Yeah.
Obviously not at first, but that would be. I think that when they decide, I feel like eventually down the road they're going to do a big tournament like that.
Yeah.
For a title shot at like All Out, which I feel like All Out's going to be their main show.
Yeah.
That really All In was the show that started it all.
True.
So that really showed that they can do something. So.
On that note, real quick, Pro Wrestling Noah, because they have new owners and everything. They've changed their Global World League to the N1 Victory tournament. So that's going to get started pretty soon. Actually, they're doing I think
tournament time.
Yeah, for real. I think they're doing it. They're either doing a deal with either Impact or NWA or someone like that. Okay. Because like they're doing it. No, MLW. That's who it was. MLW. They're doing cross promotion with MLW for the N1 Victory tournament.
Okay.
So yeah.
And final bit of news this week: Stephen Amell. Yes.
Oh my.
Arrow fame. He's been on SummerSlam. He's wrestled on All In.
He wrestled at Ring of Honor. I was there for that. Yeah.
And
put Daniels through a table, I think.
As we know, this is the final season of Arrow. It's only going to be a 10-episode season.
Why?
Crisis on Infinite Earths is going to be a major crossover event involved with this.
I'm just happy Kevin Conroy will be Batman.
Yes,
like for real, Batman.
We've talked about it a lot on the Geekcast. There's a lot to look forward to.
Sorry, that was a nerd. That was the other nerd side of me coming out.
Me personally, I'm happy to see Brandon Routh as Kingdom Come Superman.
Yes. Okay, because I've said this over and over again. He was not the problem in Superman Returns.
Oh, I know.
The script was the problem in Superman
Returns. Again, we said on the Geekcast, we're gonna borrow something from the Goods podcast. They look back on a movie and say, "You really don't hate this movie," and I want to do one for Superman Returns. So.
I'm in. let me know when you guys do that. Call me because I think I'm gonna see if I can fit my schedule in.
All right, let's work that out then.
Because I think that movie's highly just it's not good, but it doesn't deserve the hate it gets.
Yeah,
it's just
some things they could have done differently.
Yeah,
we'll talk through that, but. Anyway, back to Stephen Amell. He is going to be headlining a wrestling drama on Stars called Heels.
Stars is getting all these good shows, man.
They are.
American Gods. They got something else, too, I was wanting to check out, man. I don't even have Stars. I want to get it.
He's already invited Cody Rhodes to be on the show, and Cody's down. So you knew that was coming, and we'll see if any other stars from AEW get involved with this. I'm interested to see this show. We do have Stars for us here at home anyway, but there's a lot of good shows that they have on there. And I'm interested to see really what this drama is going to be about. If it's going to be showing a lot of like the inner workings of wrestling, a la the movie The Wrestler, and what involvement's going to be. So.
Or is it going to be like a dramatized version, which won't be that much different from the same what you just said? Actually.
No, yeah. Although the wrestler, there was a lot of stuff. I mean, it featured actual wrestlers. It featured some real, action there, and it really kind of showed what life was like on the independents for a fallen superstar.
Yeah.
And I imagine when I saw it when it debuted, I was in a theater half full of independent wrestlers, because we all was a big RCW thing.
Yeah.
But this is very interesting to me. Stephen Amell is taking this wrestling thing a hold. So I'm really interested to see how much his involvement's going to be with AEW and with this show. It's this almost, I don't know if this is a passion project for him. We know he's a big wrestling fan. He loves being involved with it.
Yeah.
But Heels is interesting. It's crazy how he's going. I think the line in Batman was The Dark Knight was, "You either die a hero or see yourself live long enough to become the villain."
Yep,
so
that's the line.
weird thing like that with this is that he's working to Rhea Heels. So it'd be interesting to see. I'm definitely interested in this show. I think it's going to go really well. And
I think even if it wasn't his original idea, I think that, he's got to love it enough to, he's been beat up in the ring plenty. I mean, for a guy who didn't really have wrestling training, the bumps he took at SummerSlam, at, All In and everything. And that's why, and I know I said this already when we talked about All In. Even the mistakes he made in the ring, I completely forgive, because he uses celebrity power to just bring more eyes onto the product, and he made some missteps. So people who were all hard on him, I was like, guys, he's not trained.
Still took a good bump through the table.
But he'll take a bump though. I was like, I can't get mad at a guy who has the celebrity power to not do that, but still says, "Yeah, screw it, put me through that table."
Yeah.
All right, and
good
there
man.
he goes. Good guy, Stephen Amell. That's what I say.
Let us know your thoughts there. Now, as far as 1 minute warning, do you have anything this week?
I don't think I do. Again, I think I'm good actually.
Yeah,
I think everything was covered kind of in the early.
Everything kind of was covered here pretty much. But I do have a bit of thing, and I guess I'm kind of reiterating something I've said already, and my hope for it, something that you kind of said earlier. So,
okay, go for it.
You mentioned how AEW is working through the women's division. Yeah. So, I'm hoping that this is kind of, if WWE is really, really ramping up this whole thing about competition, is that if they're treating this, if they're moving NXT to Wednesdays and they're worried about the competition, I really want AEW to take that division seriously, really work it up more, make it a main thing, put them in the main event if they earn it for a show, because I feel like that will bring back the Evolution pay-per-view on WWE, which I've said needs to happen every year. There's already been a little bit of a social media push for it. Please, 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 people, get out there and bring it back. It's something that needs to happen every year. You don't need Ronda Rousey to do it. I've said that before. You have some major star power in WWE themselves. You're putting Becky Lynch on the cover of the video game, for crying out loud. So definitely, please, AEW, keep doing what you're doing. Make the women a central focus. I think you guys are already doing that, and hopefully this brings Evolution back into the pay-per-view fold every year for WWE. So
I think AEW really is taking it seriously because they're getting a lot of Japanese talent, like Hikaru Shida, which is one of my she's one of my all-time favorites. I love her, and I really don't see you doing that and then not taking it seriously. I mean, WWE, aside the fact that they can't even get Kairi Sane and Io Shirai correct.
Yeah,
that pissed me off so bad. I'm sorry. Anyway, but I don't know. They're not just getting the ones who are super popular. I mean, Rio has been around for a minute, so she's a veteran. Yuka's actually kind of new, I think. I don't think she's had as long a career, so they're getting a lot of newer talent into and getting them a chance to shine. So I think they're taking it pretty seriously, honestly.
Hopefully this comes out well. I'm really interested to see how this Casino Battle Royal comes out.
That's really got me curious. I really want to see how that goes.
Now, the Super J Cup first round matches are this Thursday, August 22nd at the Masonic Temple Theater in Tacoma, Washington. The second round will be Saturday at the San Francisco State University Student Life Event Center in San Francisco. And Sunday, the semifinals and the finals are in the Walter Pyramid in Long Beach, California. Now, I don't believe these are going to be live on New Japan World, or is it going to be available like the next day or so?
I haven't heard. So at the current moment, I don't think they're live. But they'll probably be up soon after they're over. But I'll double check. But I don't think they're live.
Stay tuned to New Japan World. So far when I've checked, Access TV is not going to be broadcasting it. They're actually going to be this weekend broadcasting the finals of the G1 Climax tournament on Access TV here in the United States. So if you didn't get to see that and you want to see it, you can set your DVR to record that or watch it. But stay tuned. You never know. They might just jump in and start broadcasting this as well. You never know with Access TV. So
yeah.
Our Twitter account, of course, is at CCG_WrestleCast. Subscribe to Countdown City Geeks. Send us a message. Comment here. Let us know what your picks are for the Super J Cup. Let us know your thoughts on NXT moving to Wednesdays. We actually did get a comment. It just reminded me. Let me pull it up here from our last show.
Oh, sweet. Yeah. We are popular.
I guess.
Somebody loves us.
Yes. Let me pull it up here.
So like when I'm on my YouTube channel, someone leaves me a comment. I was like, someone loves us.
Yeah. This, of course, is from James Lee. We were talking, of course, last week about the Fiend and that whole gimmick. And he said, we're talking about the Lantern, how the gimmick's gonna change for TV. And he said this: the Lantern is not going to be used on television, but from my understanding, they're supposed to make replicas of the Lantern and use it for his Mattel monster toys. Can you imagine kids walking around with that? Please get it out by Halloween. The Fiend is the best thing going for WWE. Totally agree with you on the Demon versus the Fiend. We've wanted that for WrestleMania. And thank you all. You all rock.
Oh,
thank you, James. Thank you for watching. Always seeing you comment on the Geekcast post and, of course, commenting on the WrestleCast. We do appreciate it.
I appreciate that.
Let us know your bracket, buddy.
Yeah, for sure.
Get a bracket out there right now before it starts. We'll put you in the standings to see how well you match up against us. So
yeah, and even if you just have to put it in the comments just so we can see. If you can't do like a full bracket, just go like first round, then the semifinal, final, and then your winner. Just pick because I want to see what your picks are, man.
We'll score this like I said, like a March Madness tournament kind of thing. First round matchups, if you get those right, are 1 point each. Next round is 2 point each. Semifinals are 4 point each, and then of course if you get the championship, that's 8 points. So we'll see.
I will laugh if we're all wrong.
Whoever's got the most points there at the end. So if we all end up with 0, we suck. But that's gonna be a damn near impossibility at this point. So
we should just let Tina pick and just see. We should just let her pick names at random and see what would happen.
If she happens to fill one out before we know the tournament starts, we'll see what happens. But anyway,
if she picks someone like Rocky Romero to win it, and he does, I'm gonna be through. I was like, I'm never picking again. That's a lie.
Next week, we'll be recapping the Super J Cup briefly, and then we'll be getting into NXT UK TakeOver Cardiff and AEW All Out, all happening on Saturday, August 31st, Labor Day weekend. So,
this all feels like it's coming really fast. Of course, again, that also probably is including since I'm getting married soon.
Yeah,
it's all going really fast. Like, wow, we are almost to September. Jeez,
we're almost there. It's crazy to think how quickly this year is coming through. So.
Yeah.
Now, of course, interestingly enough, everyone's worried about, NXT UK TakeOver. They're trying to put the same day as All Out, same time. It's not on the same time. NXT UK or TakeOver is going to be in the afternoon for us.
It's like hours before.
Yeah, so we're good. Trust me.
Yeah.
All right, so until next week, enjoy the Super J Cup. This is Tommy.
Thanks, guys.
And I'm JC.
Yes,
and
sir.
As always, heels and baby faces, remember, pro wrestling is real.
People are fake. We out.
Latest.